Okay, this should finally be working. I don't know. Alright, let's just set that up. Testing scene transitions. I should be over here now, I believe. We'll have to stretch it a bit, but that's for later. It's fine. Okay, so it is going on my screen. Alright. Let's switch over to BFA capture. BFA capture's on. Alright, so I play Guardians. I really like it. Really fun deck. And this is the deck we're playing right now. This is the deck we're using. Buddy is Ochimizu, not at 4 copies because, well, it's meant to be a DEL clone when you Buddy call it, so that's why we have it on standby. I don't use Tanuki as Buddy because really there's no value of gaining the Buddy call off him, unlike Ochimizu. Aidari Buddy is okay, but we clearly got shafted in the obvious department of just getting shafted. I should probably share the stream. Oh, I love when I try to share a stream and it tells me, like, nope, you can't. Here it is. This Siren is around, don't mind me. I'm doing it now because everyone either asleep in the house or really quiet. The only times that I get that is in the morning. Alright, so hopefully people come in. So while I listen, I'll just explain the deck. 2 copies of Ochimizu, Buddy Call when you gain life, but top character engage if you have Forgiven or Fearless card, you draw a card. Really good. It's a soft launch per turn, so you can use it with your shields or activators. You have Giant Tanuki. When a Guardian attacks, you return up to 1 card from your opponent's field to hand. Not really useful. Drop them to gate. That's really That's helpful once in a while, and you gain 1 life. It activates Ochimizu. Doesn't get too much. But also, since it's an Executioner, when it attacks, it can destroy a card in the field, drop a gauge, deal 1 damage. It has double attack, so it drops 2 gauge, gains you 2 gauge if possible. It's really nice. Aidari Buddy still sucks. Well, not like sucks, but like compared to Helgapard, it's really lacking in every single play. It has it's built in Forgiven, so basically it tries to ignore Forgiven by being itself, which is fine because it's on a soft once per turn. But then also the top 2, claim 2 back and call 2 and call 2 back are kind of okay. Guardians literally did this better by making them the size zeros, but we basically now have the Guardian basically got it. Their last year's set spell, and now we have a new set spell. Now Helgard has that new set spell. Vana got kept in the deck for now because again you can go from defensive. You can now go from close center to open center and offensive plays. Restand Tanuki, gain more gate and grow more resources. You put them on top of the deck, gain more life. You have Aether, maybe redraw them back in. It's a good combo loop. Elixir I have just for offensive pressure. Oh, please don't tell me everyone's awake now. I hate my life. Kirane, we still run a Gate of Pardon, I think at just 2 copies, just because, well, our 2 best draw engines require it to be on the field, and so I like to keep it on the field as much as possible. 2 copies of Evangelist, it's a hard one to return if you draw 1 if you have Forgiven or 1 card or card away from drop. When you're starting the game, you're going to have a few cards in drop, so I just want to keep these Forgiven. We'll figure out what to do with that later, that's why we're testing. 2 copies of Garidas, which if you have Fireless again double attack, that triggers off Tanuki, and that triggers off Tanuki. And also there's no really good options here. 4 copies of Storm. the Ramarty. The Ramarty is here to gain us gauge and gain us gauge out of our drop zone, and also as well, and basically doing some good offense, close and open center plays. As for spells, we have Forgiven. The first effect is basically the new Aider effect, but really crappy. We only run it for the name, which is why I run it at 2. But if you don't have a monster on your field, you can put a card on the bottom of the deck to call any guardian monster. It could be still helpful in situations. That's why I run it at 2. Well, that's what testing's for. We have Sky Dragon Divinity. You have turn on this card in the drop zone. Pay 1 gauge, pay 1 life. Basically put top, puts you free from the drop zone, bottom lower, draw 2 cards. So nice. Each your draw spell, you kind of have to set up for it now because, well, you now have so many options to return cards back to the deck. This is harder to set up. But hopefully now we can at least get it a little bit more consistently because Tanuki costs a gauge and we can get his 2 drops into soul. You take him out, call over him, we get another Tanuki, return the Tanukis back. Stuff like that. Alright, we have Heaven Shield, which I feel is the best shield right now because, well, you're going to cast a trigger attack when it turns down a monster on your center. So yeah, you're going to have to either you're going to go from Vonica in center, bounce them back to hand, bounce the other 2 back to hand, call them back to the left and right, go attack, 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 and you call Aider and Tanuki. They bounce, they go back to the left hand side, that avoids 1 attack, and then you have this bad boy to do life. So for example, you basically gain a life, and if there's no card in the drop zone, this card cannot be nullified, which is the biggest deal. It's a 1 turn cannot be nullified by spell nulls, which is really nice. But technically, you can put back the card with 8. You typically put back cards because Aider's on a soft once per turn. So technically, if you have a copy of him on the end of your opponent's turn, and you have free cards, you just drop free, and then congratulations, you gain free life and draw a card, and then call it back in, return that hand, call it back in. That's still another use of the Aider first ability. Second shield is Delicious Defense Wall. You gain a life. You pay 1 life. Nullify attack. 5 lesser cards in the drop zone. Gains you gauge. Gains you resources. Uses your extra life. Doesn't matter if you're close center or open center. It's good. I use this because of the rapid abundance of spell nulls, and since we could technically use this with Ochimizu to gain some more life and resources on our opponent's turn, we can use that. Next is our 4 copies of Haven's Gift. You can put up to 1 Guardian's item or spell from your deck into your hand. We definitely need to keep the set spells. And the second one is if we're like literally behind, you can put all cards in the drop zone on the bottom of your deck and shuffle it. Then your Guardian set, draw a card, and put this card into the gauge. So basically, it's either a item searcher or set searcher. That's nice. Or if the second option is you can put any card. Or if you have like a very low drop zone, you can basically just gauge draw with this card. It's still very nice. 4 copies of Sanctuary because I think now more than ever, when it was originally free, it was still fine. But now our new combo line is with Aider and Tanuki as their best monsters. So we need to have Sanctuary as much as possible. So we need to always run it. We need to make sure we get it every time we play. That's the big deal. Alright, next is... That was weird. I run 1 tech copy of Luminalion because it's a P2 gauge, all spells are items can run card effects. When it enters the field, put 1 of Guardians from your drop into your hand. So you can technically put a card for your drop into the gauge, your gauge into your gauge, from hand to the gauge that you want to keep, pay 2 gauge, then it returns that same card back to hand. Nice to have. I keep it as a 1-up because it reduces it to a size 2, and then you can just still call Tanuki on the left or right because it can double attack, and then still gain you back that gauge if you need to. Plus with the protection and move, it's still pretty better to have than nothing. That's why I run it at 2 because it's a size 2 with pseudo protection. Next is Free Graces. Free Grace of the Sun Deity. Basically, your opponent cannot leave the field by card effects. They recommend 2 recovery bells to gain more extra gauge. If we can fix the gauge issues, we can take these out no problem. And then if we have 3 copies of Buddy Block where they reduce damage or stop them from attacking. So that makes sense for the deck. We're going to, there we go, get into some BFA games. Just hopefully find someone that is willing to fight. Let's go and ask around and say, hey, do you have the most recent BFA update? Alright, hope to God someone does, because they don't like finding randoms. Oh, we were so screwed. I start challenging people. The only thing I ever wanted to do today. Oh, there's... let's see. Do you have the latest BFA unofficial? I'm guessing no for this person. But if we started with this hand, we'd probably get some poo-poo. We'd probably have gotten massive poo-poo. Because we'd have none of our big play starters and mostly some of our support cards. I am sorry then to bother. This person doesn't have it, so we have to not trust them. Oh boy, this is going up to a good start. This is a great start. This is a great start. We're going to probably do test games with ourselves, so just give me 1 second. I don't see any of the BFA regulars. We're just going to turn off BFA, turn on brand new BFA. What is right here? And we're going to switch back to BFA capture. There we go. Since no one's on, I'm going to just do test games for now. Alright, let's pretend it's our first turn. Let's pretend it's our first turn. Alright, we would have nothing good to start with again. This hand is kind of trash. We're going to have to back out, right back in. Okay, we're screwed then because we technically need games. So that's a dead hand. That's what the dead hand looks like. It seems to be that the Guardian's deck is going to be a second turn deck. For the most likely, from what I'm seeing right here in my hands. So let's do that again. Let's pretend it's the second turn. Let's pretend... I don't know, they took off 3 damage. I'll go off the assumption that they took off 3 damage. So we draw. Alright, so with this hand, let's start with what we need to do next. Call Angelus, draw a card. Nice. Alright, that's parents. We would call over him with Tanuki. We would set the Guardian set spell. I call Aider to center. Let's try this maneuver. call Elixir to the right. Left. Don't worry, I have a plan for this. 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 So we would maybe use Ader's skill. So we would use Ader's skill, or would we use set? Because we can use the set, return free, and draw 2 cards. And if we do this, we can just draw 2 life. Do we need the life? Do we need the life? I don't think we need the life. So we would use Sanctuary in this instance. Send 3 Guardians cards back. Draw 2. Get a gate. Congratulations, half our stuff's alive now. Alright, so now since we have everything on the field, we can gain some quits. Alright, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. So we would A, swing for skill for free. His skill goes off, I would gain a life and put a card from drops into the gate. There isn't any. Ader would go off, that's another life gain. Then Tanuki would go off, drop a gauge and deal with damage. So I'll do another life gain. Another life gain, so that's about 12 damage off the front. Then we would need to hype calling. Drop both souls. And then technically, that's 4 cards. This is 2 already to drop. And then my plan would be to counter call Ader here to Nuki here. And then I would activate Ader's skill to then send 3 cards from the bottom. Send 3 Guardians to the bottom of the deck. That gains us 2 life and a card draw. But we have no gate to use it. Oh, actually, we can use Glacius. Then we have Ader again for another attack. Then Tanuki, and now we gain us an extra life. Then Tanuki would attack. He would take that gauge out and put it into gauge. Gain us a life. Gain the gauge into life. Alright, so that's what we have right now. That was our first real second turn offensive push. It kind of sucked, but it worked. And then we don't have any more protection, so we can't do anything much. So you would do this at the end. So let's pretend it's the end turn, and then our opponent would just be like, alright, I attack. You would call this to center, then Age calling up the 2 monsters. So we can technically not call anything, I believe. I don't think why anyone would call, because these are the bouncers. You just leave your field one open. You just save yourself from 1 free attack. That's kind of interesting. Then you'd have what less? You would cost that gauge charge, and then you'd still take kind of jillions of damage. Let's just zoom and just do 12 damage. Let's do that, and it'll start on new turn. Charge and draw. Haven's Gift. Do we need the item? Do we need the item? I think we need the item. Let's grab the item. So then we can call Tanuki again. Call Ader again. And equip Tormentai, and this will be the main formation. Can we cheat? That'll be 1 card, 1 drop. That'd be 4 and drop. I can return 1 back. I can draw 4 cards. I can draw 4 cards. So we would do this. We will engage. Put up to free. Wait, isn't this? Oh yeah, that's important. Okay, so we gotta choose which. So we would have had in that situation to choose which gauge we use. So we would do then this. This is put up to free cards. This is put up to free guardians. There's a difference. No, not top deck. Bottom of the deck. Until we had 2 cards in them. Then we would basically, I would ask them like, yo, that was Sanctuary. No, that was Skyrim Divinity. The Sanctuary would be then go off on this turn, and we would just send 1 back. Sanctuary would then allow us to draw 2 cards, and boom, we got more card draw. If only there was a way to call on top of another card instead of drop zone, that'd be great. That'd be great. But we can use Tormentai to set this up to put into gauge. Fuck. I meant gauge. So this would be 422, this would be 462, and this would be 442. We don't have the other main card, but that's not pertinent for now. So do 2, when a Guardian field attacks, you gain a life. Doom, you gain 2 life. Boom, you get another life. Then skill of Tanuki, we would just drop 2 more Badonkers. Turn them back to hand. Boom, gain a life. Boom, boom, gain 2 more life. So that's the main play for now. Forgiven hasn't done much in the way of the deck profile. So let's just find some ways to make Forgiven relevant. Because if we don't find a reason to be for Gate to be relevant, then we don't need it in the deck. Let's see here. Hopefully someone's actually in BFA I can test with. Nope, not in the slightest. This person playing Messiah Arms vs. Dragons. Why? That's going to go. What? Can you do that? Can you do that? You can, I think you can tell it. Okay. Okay. That's that thing. Just try to do. None of these people I know really, so I'm gonna have to just keep doing. Oh hey. He's Zenitsu finally up. Well, check him out the YouTube channel /Zenitsu. So I can't test fight-wise. I can only test. So you can watch me test and fail at it. Alright, this is our main hand. Well, let's pretend we're going second. So we'll take off 3 damage. And draw. Charge. Draw. Alright, so this will be our main phase. This is our main phase hand. Oh wait, we don't have any set spells. We don't have any set spells. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh fuck. I just realized that this hand is is 12 levels of garbage. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Let's see. We can do that technically. We can't survive without the set spells. That's literally their bread and butter. This would be a dead hand. This would be considered a dead hand because we literally can't do anything. Alright, let's reset the BFA. Off. On. Okay, so we need to have that card in hand. So we have that card in hand no matter what. Let's do another test game. Alright, we have Sanctuary on field. We have Sanctuary on board. This time again, we're gonna go back. We're gonna try turn 2ing. So let's just go free image, stand and draw. Oh, there's 2. Charge and draw. First, I would cast the Sanctuary to keep on board. Then we would go Tanuki to search. Oh no, top 2. That's the wrong card. Okay, I'm a poopy head. So Tanuki. Let's see if Key.in will do anything in the deck. So we'd search for Forgiven, set it, and shuffle the deck. And then we have Vonnegut. These are now size 0s. This is a size 2. Let's start battle. Let's start pretending what we can do with battle. Actually, we could have used returned 1 back and had 1 gauge for any of these. Could we have? Okay, yeah, we could have done that. We could have. That's a misplay. That's a misplay. That's a massive misplay right there. We could have done that. We could have returned 1 card to bottom of the deck, draw 2 via this, and we would just get a fucking item. Wow, I just get 1 item. I'll just pretend we did do that because this is again a test game. So let's see, we would. Oh, and since he has 1 or less cards, let's cause him to create power plus 3,000. Cool. Attack Guardian. First skill Tanuki goes off, return a card to hand. Put a card from drop zone into gauge. Gain 1 life. And now we're out for 2 on him. He would attack, another Guardian's attack, so that would be life gain. Card into gauge if we had 1. Then I would do Tanuki twice. Guardian's Executioners, that's life and gauge drop. Another life and gauge drop, so we'd be at 2, 4, 6, 8 damage. As of right now, I'm just going to make a note for the monsters, 8 damage solo. Then we would send Vonnegut from the attack phase to the top of the deck to restand him and gain 1 life. That's cool. Then we attack again with our item. That procs another life gain. We're now at about 10 damage. And then this would do 12 damage. Actually, that'll be 3 attacks. That'll be 15 damage in total. 12 from melee, 12 from basic attacks. 3 from burn. And we still have Buddy Block and the Glacius Defense Wall still equipped because we can use Glacius to just, on the opponent's turn, deal gauge 1. Oh wait, that's actually Vonnegut, isn't it? We're just gonna put him back on bottom. That's the lesson learned today, kids. Don't do what I do. Oh wait, no. I need to remember. This is kind of, you gotta learn this. It would be this card first. Gain a life, can't be nullified. Then this card would go off and give us the gauge we need. That's the turn order. If we remember the turn order, you butthead. And then, I don't know, we would have Buddy Block. Then we would take a damage. Let's do a free damage hit, because everything like has a punch crit. And then at the end of the 4th battle, you would do this. So that would be the opponent's turn, hopefully. We'll be getting damage by attacks. Let's stand and draw. So we have the item, we can charge and draw. Alright, we have 4 cards in drop zone, and we have clearly a way to do things. So first we would do Sanctuary to return 3 cards in the drop zone. We have to do 3 Guardian cards to draw 2. Luminalion or the Buddy Block. Then we have the Arset spell, which would let us go to the gauge 1. Do my very hard Rens in Perfect 0 for a second. And this would still be the same formation. Wait, actually, yeah, I think we can do this. Okay, they're both Tanukis. Okay, so I would call Luminalion, and he would be like, "Oh, Luminon skill, I return a card to hand, so I'll return." In this case, both. Actually, this is a soft one's return, so I can do that. And technically, we still have 2 cards left in dose. We still have 2 cards left. That's fine. If we want to gain a life, that's different. We could have gained a life in any other way, and that's completely different. So we would just attack with Tanuki, gauge gain, deal damage, that's free. Tanuki gain life again. Gain life, deal damage. He'd probably been out at 2, so that's 2, 4, that's 6, 3, 6, 8. No, 8, 10, 11, 12, so we would do 10 to 12 damage there. And how many attacks do we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'd be 5 life gained in total. With 5 life gains, we would have 5 life gains. Well, we have enough gauge now. I'm guessing Tanuki is going to be a very good problem fixer with the deck because I haven't had much gauge issues with the testing. Maybe like once or twice, but Tanuki just sucks it up, and then technically with that, we can set up Doramontai really easily to be the 4-2 beater. Luminalion can set up the drop zone by being 2 gauge, putting 1 into hand, so you put 1 card into drop, 1 card back into hand. That's a good bonus. And it gives protection to our set spells, and that's pretty much fine. Okay, this kind of hurts. We have this instead. Then sure, we would like to use this into gauge a life. Depends on how much damage, how much aggro is in the meta right now. Because if we can tank the damage, 17 is really easy to tank the damage in. So I think that's a good one. That's a good starting hand for this one. But I think I need a better hand. Let's see how we go with better hands. And then we don't have to pay the call cost technically on Aether with Luminalion. That's something I just realized. If you want to call a different card cost, you can call Aether with Luminalion, and then you can just put up Guardians from your hand. Just gonna check if someone's on BFA that I can fight against. There's Hikawa. I think he's deck building, so it's kind of nothing else. Alright, let's just do another test hand. Until someone on BFA can fight me, because no one wants to fight me. I sent out the word on the Buddyfight wiki, like, hey, I'm accepting fight requests with the latest update. There you go, that should help. Alright, let's do another test hand until I wait for someone to comment. Oshimizu, we haven't gone to the deck yet, that's fine. Let's do a first turn hand this time, so we're going first. Draw. Ooh, this is a little spicy. I need to set up. I don't need Vonnegut. I can pick him up later. Charge and draw. On call to the side, draw a card, that's cool. Haven's Gift, so we can get Sanctuary. They decided I want to play Executioner more than Guardians. No, you are definitely fine to do that. I mean, they got literally like one of the greatest cards, one of the best support backs I've ever seen. You have like now a double attacking, cannot be countered, 5 crit monster that you can just summon at any time. Like you saw what I saw and posted on the Zenith Discord, right, with Galgarios, and how you can call it as a size 0, and when it attacks, you have 20 cards or less, you can't be countered. Oh, don't worry. The Guardian Executioner is going to be a lot better after the set, more than Guardians, which pisses me off. I'm just trying to make this salvageable. Alright, let's see. I can overcall 8 Deaded over him. And then we would be able to use... Ooh, I got some draw sauce in this boy. Let's see, we got him back, see? Then we would use Sanctuary to return back him, and return back him. to draw 2 cards. Okay, so our starting hand is good when we can focus on the draw power. We have Sky Dragon, Divinity, and Sanctuary. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We have a good hand. Just need more defensive options, but yeah, beggars can't be choosers. Should I equip the item to gain extra gauge? Yes, they can. Let me just bring up that new Helgapard rebuddy for Mr. Zenitsu, who's in chat right now. Guess what I'm gonna do? Go ahead in the stages. Sorry for the pause, everybody, but I had to show Zenitsu that he got a better, amazing card, and I am a poopy head. Monsters with different card names. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to explain is, let me go to, I don't think I can switch to monitor 2 anyway. Alright, this is monitor 2. Monitor 1. Alright, so, this is a new Helgard Hard buddy. Its ability, Health Summon Beast, if 10 or more Guardians are in your drop zone. Yes! That's why I'm pissed! That's why I'm so pissed. You see? That's why I was bitching all day yesterday, saying, oh my god, this card, why is Guard Ader complete dog crap compared to Helgapard? Okay, let me just explain what the hell we found. Okay, so basically, Health Summon Beast. If 10 or more cards in your drop zone, you can counter call up to 2 Executioners with different card name from your drop zone by paying no call cost. They become size 0s when they enter the field. Oh, what's a good Executioner's card that I really want to do? Let's look at some nice size 2s and nice 3s. Some size 3s. Oh, Galgagario's Prison Pirate Demonic Wave. 12, 5, 5. 5 critical. It can ignore the call cost. Oh, when it enters the field, if your opponent has 20 or more cards, just destroy them. I don't care. During one of the battle which this card attacks alone, if you or your opponent have 30 or more cards in the drop zone, you cannot use or cast counter. Congratulations, you have a 5 crit on counter summon. You cannot be countered. That's like Super Warriors levels of bullshit. Oh, you want it spicier? You want it even spicier, Zenitsu? I'm sorry. Let me pull out my goddamn Impartial Kane Fabulous Rod, which, if you call your Golgars on main phase, gives him double attack. Double attack on a 5 crit cannot be countered. And you're telling me that you're like, oh, Guardians can't make size 0s. Well, they can make size 0s, and it can be disgusting. It can be disgusting now. Look at this crap. That's what I showed you on the Discord yesterday. By the way, you should go to the Zenitsu Discord. Me and Zenitsu talk about deck profiles. I've helped him with like 5 different of his decks. But seriously, dude, like if you've seen how much disgusting this is, that's why I'm like, oh my god, this is disgusting. Also, you can rip out some more Tanukis. Congratulations. You can get some Tanukis, rip out some Gauge, and then you can rip out some Gauge from your opponent so they can't fight back. What can we do? What can we do? Like, we can do like maybe 4 attacks, and then when these 4 attacks happen, you drop 4 Gauge and deal 4 damage to your opponent. And then Galgarios comes in, does a little 10 quit screen, and is like, oh, GG, I hate my life. And that doesn't include the other size 3s, like this, like, I don't know. This guy. Actually, this guy kind of sucks. Like, that's what I found from just looking around, like, just using Galgarios with the new... I showed you this combo, I think, like, yesterday. Where was it? Yeah, I'm gonna show on screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna show on screen. Discord capture. To all the people who said Guardian still has a chance despite seeing Helgapard back. You're gonna use your Helgapard, summon Tanuki. You're gonna summon Galgagarios, and then your Impartial Crane. How is that? I'm sorry. So yeah, that's just disgusting on 12 levels, and I'm mad, and I hate it. Okay, where the hell is the comment? X-User might be playable. Yeah, they've always been playable. They have good toolboxing options. I can help you with the deck profile if you want later. If you want. I'm not an executioner person. I am, well, Guardian, as you can see here. But most likely making a deck around the new Helga Pard Buddy as your main focus because it gives protection with Giant Tanuki as control with your other items and a partial cane to summon Gogarios as a fan is either a second turn OTK or finisher might be the best call. Just up to you, man. Just up to you. Oh, and actually, technically, it isn't even fucking 5 crit. Don't you have the new set spell? Let me look this up right here. Yeah, Gate of Rune's Greed, where you can basically just, like, increase everyone's crit by 5. So, congratulations. You set 4 of this card on the field. You can just set, like, 4 cards on the field. Congratulations. 9 crit cannot be nullified, cannot be countered. Maybe. And also, you can reduce your damage by 1. You have options. You have options. And if you want an impact, you can equal to the number of critical. Oh yeah, this card is basically useless now because technically the cards don't work with it anymore. Blazing in my hand is the white flight of black. That sounds so edgy as fuck, boy. Yes, there is the lineage set. That I told you. That will just increase your damage by an extra one, and you can set it 4 times. So you can make a. I think it's already 15, so it's like a 15. So 15 times 4 times 12 is 27/9. Double attacking cannot be countered. Does that sound good to you? A 27/9 cannot be countered, double attacker. Does he have penetrate? Would that make it more disgusting if he has penetrate? I think he probably has penetrate. Nope, no penetrate. So you're gonna have to open up that center somehow. But afterwards, you could just swing in like a bee, swing in like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Oh, what we're doing, Guardians? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. We were just realizing how Executioners is way better in every single way. Gotta help me. This is our starting hand for turn 1. This. And people tell me there's no fucking way to save this deck. God damn it. Let's do another reset. Also, you have better items. We're just saying you have better items than Guardians and Executioners. But I'm not complaining. Oh, yes, I am. Alright, so let's actually use Uchimizu. Oh my god. Alright, so let's do a first turn again. Draw. Charge and draw. He has soft one's return, so let's do Executioner's Gate. Get Sanctuary into hand. That's literally the greatest thing we need of all time. Then we can buddy call Uchimizu by gaining a life. Then by gaining said life, we can gauge, and if we have... Oh, fearless cards in drop zone. Okay, I'm about to read that. Wait, fearless cards or one else cards? We can't run play this card again, so that's kind of a problem. Aether comes back. And then we can return Sanctuary. With Sanctuary, we can return these 2 cards to hand, to deck, empty out the drop zone, and draw 2 cards. Sanctuary is an act. Ageha is a counteract, but we need up to 3 cards. That pissed me off. If you put 3. I get it, you're supposed to take out Forgiven for this card, but it's just like... It's so restrictive when it's a counteract because you're supposed to use it on your opponent's turn. But you'll only have to have shield. You have to have shields in your hand to use the second effect. Like, oh, Gauge is still not an issue. Ever. We had 2 card drops, so we could have actually done this. Put a card back from Sanctuary. Okay, that would have been actually a better play. Give me a second. I think my sister's coughing up. Sister, you okay? heard something come from behind me. That's kind of concerning. Alright, so we have 3 Vonnegut's. That's not the amount of Vonnegut's I want. So this is a first turn hand. You realize how much? Actually, this is a... Oh, we can technically make this a soft one. We can make it from a hard ones per turn to a soft ones per turn. Oh, okay. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea. Let's... Okay, I have an idea. Okay, let's pretend this is the formation. Let's pretend this is the formation. We didn't buddy call that turn before. Okay? We didn't buddy call before. Let's buddy call before. Since this is a soft one per turn, we can attack with him. Actually, we would attack with him literally 1 turn. And then we would send this card to the back bottom of the deck. Stand this card, gain a life. Ochimizu would then go off because gauge and draw. And then we would Age calling back the Ochimizu and that makes another soft ones per turn clause. Then buddy call, gain 1 life. You can then, this reactivates again because the soft ones per turn, gauge and draw. Oh my god. That's some galaxy brain level thinking. I have now made it from a soft one per turn to a soft twice per turn. That's some galaxy brain. And on the first turn, no less. I'm like, oh, it's only once per turn on the first turn. Joke's on you. I did it twice. So that's pretty good. That's a good thing. I'm glad I kept Ochimizu in when I realized that interaction. Because I can then use Vonnegut to counter life gain this, and then buddy call again for more defensive shelling. And then I could just be like, oh, start of opponent turn, attack. If I had a way to counter gain life in this deck on opponent turn, besides Sanctuary Shield, I would be golden. I'd be like, yo, dude. I'd be like, poof, poof. Or just play 2 Vonneguts and be like, take out my Vonnegut. On my opponent's turn, I'd be like, okay, here's a Vonnegut to fight it off. And then I would just be like, okay. And we haven't used any gauge. And we would probably take a lot of damage because we're a bunch of idiots. We would use this to return life to get our next damage to 0. Take a hit. That's our first, second, third attack. Then 4th attack would be this one. So then we can't be dealt damage by attacks, and our monsters are both back in hand. Okay, so buddy block, first attack, let them hit a bit. Buddy block then works because we have 4 more attacks a turn. You can't be dealt damage by attacks. No monsters on field, they can't do much. So we'd go back to end phase, we would draw, and then we would... let's see what we have in draw. So we have 2 generic cards. Vonnegut's needed, Ochimizu's needed. Do I need the item? Actually, this is probably in the drop zone also, actually. So I think I would not declare charge, and then do the same maneuver all over again with Ader and Vonnegut. And then we would have to return this, and specifically this with Sanctuary, because Sanctuary only targets Guardians in the drop zone to draw 2. We still have free, and then Ader would, if your flag is going to put it to free, you can put free at counter speed of generics. So Ader is our generic recycler. Derp, 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 derp. And then we would gain a draw card, gain 2 life. Ochimizu would go off, Courage, Chain. So we have more turtling. So let's do the plan. We would then go into attack phase. That would be 8. That would be 6. Actually, not 4. That would be 4, 6, 8. Hers is already used. Then I would use Hype Calling to return these 2 back to hand. And then re-counter call them at counter speed. So we're at 8 damage, then 10, 12, 14. Then we would use him to stand up, gain a life, gauge and draw, attack again. That's like what? Fucking twice? Okay, I can semi-consistently use Ochimizu's gain life soft per turn twice. Thanks to High Pipe Calling. And I was like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then count 1, 2, 3. That's 7, 8. I think that's 8 attacks, so it's 8 times 2 is 16. That's 16 damage. With Ochimizu, if you do 16 damage, but it's not as like burn damage, it's more damage than the original formation with Tanuki, technically. But that one also drains your opponent's gauge, destroys cards in the field, return cards to hand, and gains you a lot of life. So basically for less light gauge gain and less aggro, you get to do a little bit more damage, but you get to tank more. And if you're thinking, oh, that makes more sense. No, you do more disruption to your opponent. That's what I think it is. And in our hand, it's pretty rad. At the end of opponent's turn, we would have Guardian Shield, and again, it would be nullified. And Ochimizu would go off, gauge life and draw. I'll get Calling would go off, and we would bounce these two back. I think I would call Ochimizu, and then use another wall, because then at the soft ones per turn, I would just... I need to make sure she's always alive, because that's going to be an issue. Because she's alive, but she can be nullified. And it actually got to be gauge and draw. No, gauge and draw. We can always return her back, and she'll probably die. That's no problem. We've already used her purpose out. And then we would probably tank a few more hits, like Glacius. And then, do we have Blade Block? No, we do not Blade Block. Let's start a new turn. Let's take, okay, so we did 2 attacks. Let's go down to 7. That's probably good. If we were already at 17, we can go down to 7. So draw, charge, and draw. You've seen the issues I found out with this deck. So we need more draw power. It says no one humanly ever. No, I think I would just do this, this, and this. Are all my plays legal? If my plays are not legal, I would realize we have all this gauge gain, so we don't need... I don't really need Recover Veil. I only need Recover Veil for the damage reducing. So we return our 2 shields to deck. Actually, all 3 of our shields. Okay, Forgiven's here. We can Forgiven. Aider. Tanuki Ribi. Vonnegut. And then I would use Aider Ribi to send these free to the deck. We already used Sanctuary. Gain 2 life and draw. I don't think we use Haven's Gift, so we use Haven's Gift to search him, put in the deck. Yeah, pretty much it. That's pretty much it. We have a good formation. We have good defensive pressure. We have good defensive options, but everything needs to work all in our favor. And my assumption is that we only can do that the opponent can only do 4 attacks, where a lot of decks can countercall. It also doesn't work against removal because we have to bounce our things on a hard once per turn. I would then maybe him or some gauge, and then we would do 2. That would be free damage. Turn a card from gauge. 6 damage. 8 damage. 12 damage. Return this card to the bottom of the deck, gain a life, and stand. I want 12 damage. This would actually increase by 1, so that'd be 14. Yeah, this would be consistently. That's free attack. That's 9, 9, 9. Then That's free damage. Let's think of this rationally. This would do triple attacks. That's 3 damage in total. That's 9. This does 11. This does 13, and Vonnegut would do 15. Then we would use Aider. We didn't have to actually use. Okay, so we didn't have to use this. We didn't have to use this at all. Let's put that back in the drop zone for now. Actually, probably need to restand it. Tanuki gets reset. Aider gets reset. So we're at 6. This would do 15 damage all on its own with Aider. And then Aider would. There's so many lines. There are lines I can do. I just need to write them down. Because Aider could then just reset the forward. Gain 2 life, draw a card. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, we can attack 5 times with Giant Tanuki. That's 3 damage, that's 15. Then two attacks with 8, that's 4, that's 19. Then 1 with Vonnegut, that's 21. And then with this, we probably have the drop zone empty by then, so that's 23. So we can do 20 free damage with this board, with Disruption. So I was wrong with the math last time. That was 20 free damage with... So 20 free damage with the Tanuki. 20 free damage max with main board. 16 damage with Ochimizu board. Alright, so for less damage, you get more defensive tanking. You get more draw options. But if you want to go for that aggro, you can do about 5 burn damage, 5 direct damage, and, well, you can destroy it. We have already dropped 5 of their gauges. Either destroy or return 5 of their cards, and gain 5 life. And then when we come out with Aider, we would probably have 7 life. We would have gained 7 life, destroy or return 5 cards, drop 5 of their gauges. Okay, this is fine, but Helga Part's still disgusting. I'm going to say that. Oh, your draw cards. Was there any issues I saw? Was there any issues? Let's think. Was there any issues with the build? Let's go to the deck builder section and look instead right here. Wait, what? I'm writing the new Vanguard Overlord. Overlord the Cross. So last one, search your deck for the 1 card with Overlord and card name. That is different from this unit is put into the soul of your deck. And then this unit gets all that card's card names and abilities. When your card effect would count the number of cards in your hands. Wait, when your card effect would... I'll understand that later. Alright, so let's review. Let's peer review. What do we find? Ochimizu. I like it. We can set it off a lot more consistently. We can double dip on it now because that's really good, so we can gain and draw, so we have a lot less gauge issues. And if we get 2 of it's fine. I might bump it up more if we remove some of the cards. Tanuki. Excellent, amazing play starter. We're going to get burns and draw. We're going to get burns and gauge for days. He is great. Great addition to the deck. I actually recommend him. Aider. I still think she's not as good as Helga Part, but she has a lot higher ceiling of combo play than Helga Part. That's the issue. Because you have to make sure exact cards are in the exact right formation for her to work. Because there's ways for her to work. We've seen here there's ways to work. But in that sense, you have to just plan out your moves a lot carefully. Vonnegut. I still find I was right to put him in. He can countercall. He can counterstand Ochimizu or him or Tanuki. Tanuki gets more attack damage in. Ochimizu gets more life gain in. and with Ader Buddy being able to just bounce cards back, they reset their soft ones per turns. You can basically reset Ochimizu's soft one per turn with Ader, with Vonnegut, and then you can counter buddy call her to gain a second life, to gain a first life, and then reset. You use Vonnegut to counter reset. You use Vonnegut to reset Ochimizu, and then you reset it again. A good recommendation. I recommend the idea. Elixiel. Well, we have 2 cards left in the drop zone. Well, we only used it in like 1 or 2 games, but it was still pretty good. It was not the best. It just helps with pressure and putting up big numbers for Tanuki, because Tanuki's our big hitter, Ader's our supporter. I was thinking that she would go in the center and bounce, and we'd open up the center left, right, but Vonnegut still in the center makes it fine. He's one of the ones I can remove. I was just literally saying he's the one I can remove maybe if I want to lower the space. Kirane. We have 5 copies of the Guardian Searcher. I don't think we need him. We just really need Forgiven for the namesake right now, but we can technically... For our testing, we never used Sanctuary. We never used Forgiven once. I think we just used it for the namesake. Ochimizu's thankfully fearless cards. We can always keep fearless cards unless we have really bad hand or we use it at the wrong time. So I think, yeah, I think right at the time to get rid of Forgiven, or at least in this case, just take out the Searcher, or well, Kirane, I mean, for example, just put it either at 1 or 2. 1 or 2 won't hurt. So that's one note I want to say. Angelus, I'm glad of that too. It's a 1-for-1, so you basically put down 1-for-1. It's a card sacrifice, so you put it on top of another card. So a card goes on top of it, it goes to drop zone due to oversize. I gotta remember that ruling. I gotta call it TNS again when I get the chance one day and be like, hey, does that work? I can just call a monster on top of a monster and that monster dies. One person told me no, but I think I'm based on that ruling. And this is good because you can just it's a hard one per turn, yes, but it's a nice just drop zone drop zone setter, and first turn just call down, boom. Gardas is going to get out of the deck. I have not used him because the main formations is Ader Tanuki Vonnegut or Ader Ochimizu Vonnegut or Ader Ding Ding. We don't need Gardas. We don't need Gardas anymore. If you brick and you kind of in a situation where you need Tanuki and Gardas, it'd be fine. It'd probably work better. But the main situation is Guardians only, so we need to keep bouncing cards back and putting cards back on the field with Tanuki and Ader. Plus Vonnegut is way better, and this card would just... We would have to call this to the center. We would have to call Ader to the center, Tanuki to left or right, and then Gardas to left and right. Call back, send the soul to drop, recall and set up call, and that would set up a free card drop zone automatically because Tanuki's soul is 2. Gardas is 1 on overcall. Actually, no, it would probably be sucked out because technically if there's a double attack, this would probably be 4 drain from the gauge. Okay, that's the thing. So Gardas, I think, is going to be Gardas and Kirane, and Elixiel are probably going to be the cutting block. I might keep Elixiel just for some testing purposes, because we do have some damage, because you can use a lot of damage with him and Ochimizu, and some life gains, shenanigans, but that's pretty much it. Item. We have most of our big hit or better attackers have double attacks, so there's no problem. We don't need the Guardians items. We need this card because we can put a card from drop zone to gauge at the 4/2. If we somehow are consistently able to not need the put from drop deck into gauge, then we can actually replace Dornamentai with, oddly enough, Nirvana Manias, because technically this becomes a 4/2 when it drops into 0. This is a 6/2 when there are no cards in your drop zone. It still has base in 2 crit, which is the main thing. This is going to go in after you destroy their center, swing in for damage. I'm going to find it funny, but if we need this, we need this. I would say maybe like a free 1, maybe? A free 1 would be fine because we can always return it back to deck. Oh my god, Forgiven. I think you are either out of the deck completely finally, or you're going to 1. Just 1 for the namesake, and that's pretty much it. We don't need to search you. We can search you with our set spell if we needed, but it really doesn't matter. We have a lot of card options, so you're going to probably go down to 1. Or if Fire Testing shows off, you go to 0. That'd be great. Sky Dragon Divinity still works fine. Needs a little bit more setup because we can just return everything we want into deck into hand. That's pretty good. That's still fine. But always drawing 2 for Gauge on Life, putting 3 cards back is still pretty nice. Heaven Shield. Good. You always can. It's not as good, now that I'm saying it out loud, because you need a monster close to your center, and you would rather have Aether move to the center to block an attack. Well, it just asks for Guardians, so you can use the set spell or your item to count as the Guardians card in your field, so that's good. You're always going to have a set spell. So I would say, like, you would bounce it 2, do not call anything back. Hopefully this is an Ochimizu situation where you already put him back. I mean, it's basically nullify that gains a life. It's basically nullify that gains life. Let's just say it like that. The anti-nullify is the cream of the crop. That's what we can say. If it becomes a big issue, we'll switch to the Shield of Justice will never shatter, and that would really be just enough issues, if not better, in some cases. We can return up our monsters onto your hand, and we don't want cards in drop zone. So this card, I think, is going to be useless for now and all time. I really thought this card was a good idea. Alright, Glacius Defense Wall. Glacius Defense Wall is not bad. Did anyone even ask for fights with me or no? Oh, he's like, oh, it's numbers being a piece of crap. Actually, that's just rude. I didn't do it wrong. I was like, oh, he's like, you should have been in the fight channel. I'm like, yeah, you got a point. I didn't even know it was there. Honestly, I think there's too many channels. I like have to close most of them. Wrong. Glacius, good. Gain a life, gain a gauge for bit 1 life that we can get about 7 to 5 of, gain a gauge. Fine. Probably the best shield we have in the deck. Why is it still $1? Someone because I needed to get 1 more copy of this card and I'm pissed. Haven's Gift. Just unbricks everything you ever need. We haven't needed to use the second effect because our own cards can return stuff on its own. But it's nice to have as a resource option. It's just there as the main effect to return to get your sanctuaries or your items. That's all we need. Sanctuary. You are always going to be at 4 now. I do not care. You're going to be at 4. Living Allion, I feel is going to be a not bad one of choice. I'm finding because again, you return one of the guardians you put up from the drops in the hand. It gives protection. It works well with Tanuki to double attack with double attack. With double attack to gain more life and drain more gauge. The gauge you cost of this would just go back into Luminali. We'll go back into the gauge. So that's pretty much easy to call for this one. He's a size 2, so that's no issue. Grace. I haven't used Grace in this fight, but actually that's a good point. I haven't used Grace once in testing. Is there a card I'd want to leave on the field though? The protection wavers off if I bounce them back to hand. This might be a situation where Grace isn't that good of a card in the deck. I need more testing probably with some other players, with some actually players, but in the testing rounds we didn't need Grace. Because we can bounce our cards back to hand, and that with the protection, that's the big point. Recover Veil also didn't really need. Our gauge gain has finally accelerated to a very respectable speed. That was one of our biggest problems, and Recover Veil doesn't need to be here anymore. The damage reducer is nice. We don't have damage reducer in our deck in Guardians. There'd probably be better options. I think maybe adding Lost to this might actually be a good call also, because we can just oppress their left and center, and then just beat the crap out of their center while gaining resources and then drawing for our Lost deck. I gotta ask how returning Lost deck cards work, because learning the Lost deck cards work, that's gotta be a question for another time. Telly, can you return main deck cards to a Lost deck? That is a question I need to ask TNS later. That is a question. Buddy Block. I'm going to keep it in the deck. It seems to work well. It reduces damage, so that's nice. And then, if we take a good amount of damage and then we return our cards back to hand and not call anything, they can't attack us, we can't deal damage to us, and they can't destroy our monsters, which is what most people would usually do if they got Buddy Blocked. So they're just kind of in a situation where, like, ah, crap, we can't attack or block. So that's a good maneuver. If we could use like that. Any improvements I can make to the deck? Let's just look at every Guardians card ever made. Nope. No, you cannot. Denise is already in the comments like, no, Roxas, your deck is already perfect. Marie, you've already made the most perfect Guardians deck ever created by man. There is no going from past this. You have already reached perfection. I needed to drink some water this morning. I forgot my medication. Where's my water? Where's my water? Oh, God. Choose a monster in your field and you may discard this card. Move and penetrate. Do we really need penetrate? No? Not fam? Glitinea? Oh, it's only 2/2/1. Nah, we're good. We're good. Maybe nah. Hellrent? I think I can run a Hellrent. I can run one Hellrent. Jokes. Giant Tanuki and Hellrent team up. They're like, oh, we're gonna deal dodge damage, deal 1 life. That's funny. Nope. 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 At the base of Boomerang Clone for a budget, that's fine. Let's look at generics. Let's look at better generic cards. Everyone's favorite section, generic spells. We don't have Dragods. We're not Time Dragons. Oh, he's asking about no, you cannot return cards from the main deck. Okay. So I'd have to return Lost deck cards. Okay, that's no problem. I know they have like the discard. They have the draw free discard 2. I can just return that back. That's fine. Grace, I'm still having options of. If Sweet Happy Time wasn't $10 each, I would be like, that's actually a good idea, Sweet Happy Time, because we're really ability focused. That's actually a good idea, Sweet Happy Time, if I could afford it. God help me. When this card put into your drop zone from the deck card effect, you put the card into your hand. Wait, I can counter. This card can rest a monster? That's good to know. No, not a fan. That kind of sucks. The turn reduced the from its effects. Okay, that countered me. That sucks. Life is 5. Not going to be. Next time you take a 0 during your main phase, score your drop zone. Be 1 gauge. I mean, we can pay for it, and it would actually help set up the drop zone. That's some ultra technique right there. That's some ultra technique. That's 2 drops for 1 out of the drop zone. That's an option. Reveal, we've said that is okay, not the best. Buddy blocks. Buddy option? 5 penetrate. If this card is called Soul card in the field, abilities of this and all cards on your field cannot be nullified by your opponent's card effects. That could be something. I mean, loyalty makes a lot more sense. So basically, some good options are loyalty and buddy option. Even if buddy option is... No, you would have to put it into our item soul, because our item is the only thing that won't get bounced to hand. We bounce Aider and we actually bounce all the monsters in our deck, so basically by bouncing all the monsters in our deck, we would need to... Buddy option's a good option. That's what I'm thinking. Buddy option's a good option. I really need to write this crap down. Oh wait, I'm making a YouTube video on it. I don't have to. So buddy option I think is recommended. I can put it into the item soul, and then it can protect from all. It can give the field affiliate nullification. If we can basically get past destruction, and we can past destruction nullification, because we can just recycle our crap back. That's fine. Return to hand, we return ourselves to hand, so that's fine. And if someone tries to return us to hand, we can just counter return ourselves to hand, call them back, they whiff. Okay. Ability nullification. That's one big issue. This is a good option. I wish it was built into the archetype, but no. We'll get that one day. Just give me 5 minutes to give a good Guardians item. I promise I won't cause something broken. Chest breaks, font now. Risk card will penetrate or double attack. Everything has triple attack or bajillions crits. Loyalty, I'm thinking about putting in, because loyalty can be recycled with Aider and Aider. Aider and Skydragon Divinity. And him. So, loyalty is one of those broken cards that you can always use. So you just stop your opponent from calling free monsters. And what they call those free monsters, they're kind of locked. Yeah, it's a buddy option. That's what I'm saying. If there was a buddy that had protection built in like that, like Helga Pard, I would be fine. So buddy option and loyalty are two options I think are going to be good, instead of Grace and Recover Veil. Because Recover Veil is basically for the gauge, that's fine. And we have enough gauge mostly for loyalty to just stop them from playing. Hey, this is a Guardians deck. We gotta fight that a little bit unfairly. We're angels. We're Christianity. Christianity doesn't play fair. Have you seen Orthodox Christians? Oh, hard take. Oh my god, if I was just like, oh, I'm gonna put 4 obstruct till I can draw half my deck. We can pay 2 life and pay 2 gauge. Actually, that's not bad. We gotta tell if that's better than Skydragon Divinity, because Skydragon Divinity plays into our playstyle, but needs setup. This, you just take the resources, and this actually sets up your drop zone a bit more. Because you basically put 2 cards into basically as a free, draw 2, put free in the drop, which Aider or the Guardian set can use. Which Aider can use by putting free back in, and then the Guardian set can send 2 of those Guardians back to deck. This card stays, you drop 2 cards. So that's pretty good. I don't know if anyone's ever used this. Has anyone gone past this point? Yeah, we've already went through Sweet Happy Time. If it wasn't $10, I would probably use it. Because I want to build Guardians IRL. This is one thing I want to do. I want to build Guardians IRL. I played it since Season 3 online. I really liked it. So the goal is to get Sweet Happy. I think Sweet Happy Time is like 15 everywhere. Let's look at the price. Sweet Happy Time. I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry about the barf. That's disgusting. Sweet happy time. Oh, just use the impact hoser? Hoser. Excuse me, sir. What's an impact hoser? Pay 5 gauge or no player impact. But no one plays impacts in this game anymore, really. Sweet happy time is. Oh, hey, look, it's in Singapore. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. Everyone bought all the copies. God help me. Alright, so we have that. So that's the problem. So yeah, loyalty and. So yeah, loyalty I think is gonna be loyalty, and if I could get sweet happy time, I would. God damn it. Like sweet happy time would be great because you can counter stop everyone from rescue cards, which is an issue with us. For this turn, ability coming to level 5, which is really important. Oh my god, it's almost like the generic cards are getting too expensive, and the game's getting the game needs a revival collection volume 2 in 30 seconds. And boy, you're just fucking with me at this point. Hey, boy, you're just fucking with me at this point. Oh yeah, we had to look at the hand traps. You're actually right. We should look at the hand traps. If this month is July or August, it gets +3, +3, +3. And it activates Ochimizu. Wait, what month is it? June, fuck. I need an 848 that I can penetrate with, and then I can just go through both walls. Why is Temperance after all the other cards? Did we forget Temperance existed? Bay. Can't be reduced. You may drop this hand card. Next time your opponent will search your turn, top 4 instead. When you drop this hand card, choose to put a card from opponent's drop on the bottom of your deck. When attack you take 5 more damage. That damage is reduced to 0. First turn of damage reduced. We definitely have low power, so technically wouldn't need to do that. I was only my 4 copies of React Empress to make a weird anti-play deck. I'm like, nope. Nope. I think that's just going to be Electro Deity. I'm just going to be like Electro Deity with Sakura Fubiki. Actually, I think that'd be Neo Dragons. How many decks? What has the most spell nulls in one deck? I think that's Star Dragon World, actually. The Star Dragon World has... Yeah, Star Dragon World and Neo Dragon has the 4 copies of their spell null, in monster form and spell form, Neo Dragons. Then I can go into Lost World and I get 4 more copies. And then this card just be like, Moon is good too. I look at Moon, but I'm like, we're gonna have to take 5 more damage. We can gain it back. Power defense and critical auto card can be reduced, so they're already low. So power reducing would, I mean, it would be their best play, but since we already can go burn, that probably not really matter. They can't do they can't both do burn and battle damage. They would have to choose one or the other, really, in a battle phase. So they would either reduce Tanuki's burn or reduce our stats, but still have to deal with Tanuki burn. Tanuki's raccoon balls. Yeah, Garble, Anchor, and Shining. Garble and Anchor and Shining is probably like they're gonna be a big no deck. I want to one day make a no deck based around Empress where she just says no, where you're just like, oh, Nope. And then you recurse her. Nope. Recurse her. Nope. Recurse her. Nope. Recurse her. I think that'll be a fun idea one day. Remember, she went from this to this, and she went from this to this. What's the meme? If you don't like me at my worst, I liked you at your worst. Then you can't like me at my best, and I love you at your best. So yeah, I think that's good with. I think that's pretty much it. Or two, what do you want? Is this technically better than the Guardians item? Is this technically better than the Guardians item? You can do Burn Nova. Burn Nova? I'm putting that into check for later, but let me check for Burn Nova also down here. Oh yeah, in Triple D in Hundreds format, I made a Venom Nova deck. It was so disgusting. I want you guys to see it. Drop all your hand cards. That just drop all hand cards just kills the drop zone. You're just probably going to use it as just a last. Well, we don't even need the Omnilord Searcher. We can probably draw through half our deck. We have a good draw engine. I get what you're saying. It's just a last ditch effort. We have the gate for it. And we always have the set, so we can probably recurse some stuff back. Well, we can only recurse 3 back. If we have a big hand. Okay, now. I get what you're saying. But I don't think in a deck that needs a lot of its hand. All cards in your field can be destroyed or rest. You're basically just gonna have to swing like hell because this card is gonna be a size 3. It's gonna be in the way. It's not. You're gonna get a different. You're not gonna be able to use. You're not gonna be able to use what's the card? What's the fucking card? Yeah, he saves from a die. Yes. You're gonna be able to. You're gonna have to only use basically if you drop your entire hand. You're gonna have to use Haven's Gift to get everything out of the drop zone because that's basically your only lifesaver. Once you use Venom, once you use Burn Nova, that's pretty much the only thing you can do because. I get what you're saying. I still think it's funny that technically Neo Buddy Sword is better than our own Guardians item. It's almost like Guardians need a new item. Oh, what's a shock? Hot take. Wait a minute, what's going on with Godcross? I know he's a size 2. And our monsters, we can reduce our size 1s to size 0s. If a card's on your left, center, size 1 would be Tanuki. Size 0 would be probably our size 1s. That's a good idea, technically. We can technically use... If the new 8 is a size 0, no, the new 8 is a size 1. The new 8 is technically a size 1. 8 becomes a size 1 with gate. That's one thing. Yes, you can use this ability on the opponent's turn, but 8 is a size 1, technically. Sadly. I realize a Godcross Guardians deck might work. Put cards on your deck counterattack power plus 1,000. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not gonna be rude about it. It's not bad. You're gonna have a coin. You give protection, rest protection. You get a lot of burn damage. You get a lot of attack power. This is. You can build like a Guardians deck around this. I'm still waiting for you to build a Guardians deck around this. Sorry, my parents are asking about an iPad. Because hers is not. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Godcross for being a size lower can do something. You wouldn't want to bounce them, but you can chain more attacks. Yeah, God Cross is solid. God Cross, if I want to make like a God Cross centric, I can make a God Cross centric deck. But since the deck had mostly size 1 focus, I would only have to really do maybe like one monster, like one of these guys, and then maybe a Vonnegut, maybe. Good luck filling paper copies. If I saw him on the website, he's out of stock. Oh, derp, the other way. Need the other way. We're looking on TCG Player. Okay, secret version is sold out. Let's go, kids, to the magical world of TC Gen. Not TC Gen. God help me. Open the flag. Just like Zenitsu told you in his newest video, you should always give us. There we go. Fix that. I just noticed that. That was weird. Got to cross. He is $12. That's fine. That's not as bad as I thought. I'm starting to get hungry. That's probably the time when I should probably stop. Currently out of stock. Ouch. That'll get a secret pack for $28. For 20 Singaporean dollars, you can get it. Never mind, fam. You can't. Oh, you should have bought it out when it was $8, dude. Actually, don't buy out things. That's wrong. Make sure to buy it so you can save money and support your communities. But that's an option that's available, but not really an option I'm going to use. Oh, what's up, Michael? Alright, so wrong BFA capture. There we go. From what we have as a pure Guardians build, this is what we have now that's perfect. We can maybe take, well, not perfect, but like, we can take out the Graces maybe, or reduce it to 2. We can take out the Recover Veils. We can add in Sweet Happy Time and Loyalty. And I think that would, and Buddy Option. Those I think would be the best cards to put in. We can't put in too many Guardians cards because parents not knowing how Amazon works. Because there's apparently a special. Alright, so I think that's everything. We can just take out the Recover Veils if we have more testing on there. So we got to test in future games with actual opponents. The Elixir, Kidanen, Guard is probably getting kicked out to the curb. The Recover Veils and the Graces. And then if they don't work, we put in the generic cards like Sweet Happy Time and other copies. I think that's the plan. I think that's the plan for anyone who wants to watch. Anything else I want to add before I end the stream? Hope Zenitsu enjoyed it because he was the only one who watched. I'm sorry for being rude to numbers for a second. Because I should have done that. There should be less channels. And I think that's everything. Remember to buy your cards. Go to Zenitsu's YouTube channel. Bye. Time to go eat some food.